Hello all. In this video, I'm going to walk through Iceberg multi-catalog configuration. Why we need this? To create data federation SQL queries that connect and integrate various data sources using Spark. For example, you want to get data from Hive catalog if you have a Hive tables, and Glue catalog if you have a Glue tables or Iceberg tables, and if you have a Delta catalog, and then various other catalogs like Polaris. And then you can join all those sources tables and you can build your own analytics on it. So that is advantage with multi-catalog configuration. So here we are talking about Iceberg. Okay, so if you look at when within a Spark context, you can configure and utilize multiple catalogs simultaneously. Of course, each catalog has its own RBAC, role-based access controls. But let's say you may have read-only access to Glue, you may have read-only access to Delta, or vice versa, whichever. So in this example, we are using Spark catalog connecting to Hive on Hadoop catalog, Iceberg catalog, Iceberg on Hadoop catalog, then Glue catalog, Delta catalog. Then instead of Hive on Hadoop, you can also replace if you have a Docker container running on your EC2 instance, or if you have a Hive access available in EM or Hive, whichever, then you can replace with the thrift store. Okay, so then in the Polaris section, look for Snowflake Managed Polaris internal catalog, Snowflake Managed Polaris external catalog examples. We have a different Spark session. When we reach the Polaris section, I will explain. But it almost follows the same model. And when you are working on AWS, you make sure that you set up your AWS keys. Okay. And it's the same as, how we practice Hadoop catalog, Hive catalog, AWS catalog. It's the same. So you start your Jupyter notebook, and then you specify all the packages in one place. So here we just create a list. If you look at here, Delta and Hadoop AWS, you saw that one in the Hadoop Glue catalog configuration. Then of course Spark runtime, you use it for every catalog, and then AWS bundle to connect to the AWS directory structure S3s. And then extension, here we are using a Spark session extension and Delta extension. Iceberg Spark session extension, we saw that one in Hadoop catalog and Hive catalog, AWS catalog. And for Delta table, which is managed by Databricks, and then you have to use Delta Spark session extension. So these are different libraries. And then warehouse, in this example, we are using S3, but as if you look at in the Glue example, it's kind of is an extension here. Okay, configure a catalog by name Spark catalog, type of Hive on Hadoop catalog, Iceberg catalog on Iceberg on Hadoop catalog. And if you want to replace both Hadoop here with the Hive, then you can use a Hive thrift store. And Glue catalog, Delta catalog, and I can note here saying that if you have a Docker Hive or AWS Metastore Hive, then you can replace that. So we're going to start this session builder. And then if you look at here, all the packages, you join, list to join, right? So click on Python code here. So we have a list then, and if you do join on packages, then automatically all these are joined as a one single string. Okay, so just for Python learning also. Same thing here, extensions here, all the extensions are together. Then we have now here, if you look at all these three lines here, for the Hive catalog, but of course we are using Hadoop as a catalog type, but you can replace the way we did in Hive here. Okay. Then Iceberg also sitting on Hadoop catalog, but you can replace Hive thrift store. Then here Glue catalog, and we saw that example in the AWS Glue catalog example here, and then make sure that you are using Glue library. Okay. Then here when they come to Delta, then you're going to use Delta catalog library here, and the location of the delta, and all are in the same location. So someone in our company creating delta table, and then they also have a glue table, and then have a hive table, iceberg table, hive tables, and you can all join together. So this is one department doing hive tables, another department doing an iceberg table, and then another application doing a glue tables, and then delta tables, and then here you can make a join then to get your tables. So for example, show databases, then using the Spark you can see the Hive databases. Then you can use Iceberg, you can see Iceberg databases and tables, and glue tables, and like that. So the same multi-catalog scenario can be created in the Spark shell. You can also, let's say for example, you don't have a Jupyter notebook, and then if you want to do it quickly on your shell, you can do that. But here, if you see this example here, I'm using Polaris here. So if you look at here, Polaris, I'm connecting to, again, it's Polaris, another catalog we're going to walk through later. And then if you look at here, then I'm also connecting to Glue. So yeah, follow this. So here, Glue is on AWS and Polaris in AWS. And then, you need a Polaris credentials here. Again, Spark catalog and Spark catalog, which is basically Iceberg. And then it's Glue, how to define. So this is how you can create. Now in this example, I can say Polaris dot database dot some table name, then glue dot some database dot glue database dot, and then table name, and then I can join all in the Spark SQL. So this is advantage of Spark. With you can keep on adding any catalogs here. So let's say if you have any Cloudera REST catalog, and maybe Lakekeeper, another catalog, so we can add all these things, and that is advantage of the Spark multi-catalog. I've been using in the Glue, when we reach Polaris, we will be using this combination of Glue and Polaris, because I want to migrate Glue table to Polaris table to Glue, or I want to connect within the Polaris. I have internal catalog and external catalog. We'll be looking at that. But right now, practice this section, right? And then you can use in your EC2 instance. It works. Then that way, yeah, if you don't have a delta, then maybe just ignore this part. You can have it, but you don't have a tables, for example, then just ignore. But then you can have a Glue table, then Iceberg table, and a Spark table. We already practiced all these things. Okay, thank you.